Hey everyone, it's Mike here from The Art of Guitar, just making a quick video to follow up a post that I put up on social media a couple days ago, talking about some of these so-called Metallica fans giving the Stranger Things fans grief because they're just getting into Metallica now because they saw Eddie play Master of Puppets on the season finale. So it appears that Metallica gatekeeping is alive and well. It seems to have been around forever. And the sad part is I can kind of understand it a little bit because when I see a young person wearing a Metallica shirt, I always assume that maybe they got it from Target or Urban Outfitters or something. And part of me wants to go up to them and do the old name 3 songs routine, but I always hold back. I kind of have this silly fantasy where I'm wearing a Metallica shirt and some metal snob comes up to me and demands that I name 3 songs from the album that I'm wearing, because I always picture myself responding like this. You only want 3 songs? How about if I name all of them in order? Battery, Master of Puppets, A Thing That Should Not Be, Welcome Home Sanitarium, Disposable Heroes, Leper Messiah, Orion, and Damage Inc. or Paraded. But I guess I just have really strange fantasies, I don't know. I think a big reason why I defend all these new Metallica fans that are getting into the band now is because when I first started getting into them, I got called a poser quite a bit. And it's because of the way I got into them. My first time hearing the band was actually at a junior high school dance. I mean, they were playing songs at the time like New Kids on the Block, Paula Abdul, Madonna, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this rogue DJ just decides to play Blackened. I remember a lot of the preppy kids were very confused and somewhat disturbed, and some of the more freakish burnout type students were headbanging, and that was really intriguing to me. But I didn't know who played the song. I don't believe the DJ said who it was, and so a few months later my cousin came over with the And Justice for All cassette, but I didn't put 2 and 2 together yet. Like I said, I didn't know who played the song at the junior high dance. But it wasn't until after I saw the one video on MTV that everything changed for me. I bought the And Justice for All record, I heard Blackened, and then I'm like, oh, okay, it was Metallica all along. I started to grow my hair out. I wanted to wear all black all the time. I think my parents were a little bit concerned. I ended up buying 7 Metallica t-shirts, and I remember being in class and one of the more popular kids made fun of me because I wore a different Metallica shirt every day. And the kid's like, what a scrub, all you wear are Metallica shirts. And the students laughed. I felt kind of bad. But the funny part is a while later, my friends and I formed a metal band, and we actually played at a popular girl's birthday party, and we were playing Metallica mostly, and he actually was in the front row. And he actually became a fan of ours at the time. So I always thought of that as kind of like a sweet, ironic revenge story or something. But before we put the band together and actually got some actual metal cred at the time, a lot of people called us posers. A lot of the jocks put us down for wearing Metallica t-shirts and so on. But then I started hearing stories from other metalheads that were telling me that Metallica gatekeeping was happening way before I ever got into the band even. So I guess anyone who got into the band during Ride the Lightning, Metallica's second official release, were given grief by the people who were already into them from Kill 'Em All, their first official release. And these Kill 'Em All hipster fans were making fun of the Ride the Lightning fans because Ride the Lightning included a ballad, which was Fade to Black. Doesn't that seem stupid? I mean, Fade to Black is one of the heaviest tunes if you listen to it all the way through. And these people were giving these people crap because they got into the band on the album where they included a lame ballad. And then the people who got into the band during Master of Puppets got a lot of flack because Metallica started getting a lot bigger. They were playing stadiums. They were going on worldwide tours, opening up for huge acts like Ozzy Osbourne. So the cycle kept continuing. There's a definite pattern here. If you're into the band during this phase, you're allowed to make fun of the people who get into them in the next phase. And so like I said, I got into them during And Justice for All, and what's crazy is that the reasoning was because they put out a video on MTV. So suddenly they said that Metallica sold out, they're on MTV, and anyone who gets into them now are just posers. There were also 2 camps now, and one of them were diehard Cliff Burton fans. Cliff Burton passed away during the Master of Puppets tour, and those people were forever Cliff fans. They didn't want to get into them at all with the new stuff because this new Jason Newsted guy just wasn't the same. Metallica will never be the same without Cliff, and so they stuck with that. And you can't really blame them because Cliff was such a huge force for the band and such an awesome musician.
All know Cliff Burton over here.
And I was always like, man, why can't we just get along here? We get the benefit of hearing awesome music from both bass players. Now, because I was already a huge fan during Justice, I got to see firsthand when the Black Album came out, all the gatekeepers coming out for that one. and saying that now Metallica has officially sold out. They're playing these shorter radio-friendly songs like Enter Sandman, Nothing Else Matters, Sad But True. They were playing those songs on the radio all the time. So the hardcore fans saw that and said, okay, this is officially it. Metallica is now sold out. Anyone who got into them during the Black Album, they're fake fans. We're the only real fans. And it happened again when Load came out. A lot of people said they sold out because Metallica cut their hair, and a few of them were wearing mascara in a couple pictures that I saw, and their music had changed a little bit. And I think a big part of that was because the music scene was so different at the time. Alternative music had taken over, so Metallica made a few adjustments. And I might be a little bit guilty of thinking they sold out at the time too, because I never thought I'd see the day when they cut their hair like that. But I ended up cutting my hair too, so I can't talk. However, I never gave anyone grief for getting into the band at that time, I swear to God. Now we can fast forward all the way to when Guitar Hero came out, and a whole new generation was getting into the band because of this video game. And I loved it because I was teaching guitar at the time, and all of a sudden I was having all these new students come in asking to learn how to play songs like One, Master of Puppets. But even these students got a lot of crap from people for getting into Metallica through a video game. So the gatekeeping continued. And that takes us all the way to today when Stranger Things introduced Master of Puppets to a whole nother generation. And it got so bad with the gatekeeping, I guess, that Metallica themselves had to release a statement saying, hey, whatever gets people into our music is totally cool. We welcome everyone to our family. And I totally agree with that philosophy. I mean, you have to discover bands somehow, right? And who's to say which way is superior? I mean, someone might hear Master of Puppets on Stranger Things, look it up online, and all of a sudden, maybe they get suggested other songs. And from there, they could branch off into a million different directions. I mean, when I was younger, you would start off with one band that you liked, and then a friend would loan you like a couple other cassettes or CDs or whatever, and be like, oh, you like that band? Check out Anthrax, check out Testament or Megadeth or whoever. That was our low-tech version of Spotify suggestions and YouTube suggestions back then. It's just way more high-tech these days how you can discover music. And actually, the show helped out many artists. If you look, Eddie's actually wearing a Dio patch on his jacket, which I thought was great. But I think the biggest winner of the show is Kate Bush. It's kind of obvious. You can't go anywhere without hearing the song right now. I think that's really crazy that a song that hasn't been getting any attention over decades now is suddenly really popular because of a show like this. I wonder if there are a bunch of Kate Bush fans that are being snobby about this too. And finally, this hit me the other day when I was putting this together. I thought, okay, this is kind of ironic how I'm defending a lot of these new Metallica fans that are discovering the band through a popular show, when Eddie Munson himself, the guy who plays guitar, plays Master of Puppets in the show, would probably be a snobby gatekeeper from Metallica as well. So it's very ironic that he would probably see this very video and go like, whatever, you poser. All right, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this video. In the comment section, if you want, go ahead and let us all know how you got into the band, because it would be really cool to see how we all ended up in this twisted family together. I did a video a long time ago about asking people what their Metallica story was, but if you haven't checked that out yet, go ahead and leave your comment in this video so that we can all talk about it here. All right, we'll catch you guys at the next video. Thanks. Bye-bye.